I noticed that you started this program today with receiving a proclamation from the mayor and the council. And I was saying to the judge and Mara McNeil over on the side that I don't think the proclamations are so darn important if what's written on them don't mean anything. And I've had sort of a bout the last few weeks with the city council because I said they didn't appoint enough minorities. Minorities meaning women, browns, blacks, reds, and all. And I was taken to task by the very man that issued that proclamation to you today, who has not been supportive of women's causes on votes on the council. And my issue is that if all of us don't stick together, and if we don't become more knowledgeable about what's going on at the local level, then you are never going to elect a responsive city council. And this is where it all starts. And Judge,
you're talking about the ERA to a group that knows that it is not a detergent and doesn't think it means something about the draft and restrooms. So you know all the facts. You also know that it's in trouble, and I don't want it to be on a downer, but in '72 I thought we had it nailed down. You know, we could really be kind of feeling that after all those years something was settled down. I thought the abortion Supreme Court ruling was settled down too, and I find that it's like Sisyphus pushing a rock up the hill. But at first I used to tell myself that it takes quite a long time for an amendment to be ratified. The Bill of Rights took 27 months, income tax took 43 months, and the limit on the presidential term, which I remember, took 43 months. So I thought, well, it's just a matter of time. But this is getting to be too many years just to have women declared as equals.
And that's the way I think that we ought to feel. That's the extent of our responsibility. We always ought to be ready. And what is the trouble? It's because these pink ladies are more responsive than we have been. Now,
Jimmy Carter, in response to criticism of HEW's decision to cut off Medicaid payments for abortion, said that life was unfair. There are lots of things that wealthy people can do that poor people can't, and it's not really up to the government to change that. I can only say that I thought that our government and Jimmy Carter had undertaken a commitment to make life more fair for poor people, for black people, for women, for children, and for human beings everywhere who are the victims of poverty and discrimination. Please write letters.
When they did decide who to honor, they tried to think in terms of people who had done things for the first time. I want to be the person who does things for the last time. I really want to be someone who gives their dollar so that a person who chooses abortion may have an abortion in healthy surroundings. I want to be the last person to ever again have to sit in a courtroom on Christmas week and watch a lesbian mother's child be taken away from her. I want to be the last person to ever have to work on Title IX, because it will be obvious to everyone that schools must give equal opportunity to our sons and to our daughters. I want to be the last person to remind the media that we own the airwaves and that we, women, are more than half of the population, and we want some equal time on the air. And I did
organizing that